Good evening, and welcome to a special presentation of Trust and Guide on Saturday evening. Hey, where'd yeah, gotta have that up there real quick. Well, I'm still trying to fix all this stuff. Let me know if you can hear me clearly. There's at least one person put a 5 by 5. I would appreciate it in the chat. All right, let's see. What am I talking about with the Day of the Zombies? Well, I'm not screaming like I do in the morning, trying to get you up, get you motivated, go to work, and all that. So I just want to say thank you for y'all coming over here. I usually don't do these in the evenings, but getting everything, and there's another jigsaw puzzle I got on my email that fits with all the research I've been doing. Thank you, Pappy. Appreciate it. And yeah, so I felt the need to talk a little bit. And before I even get into that subject, I want to read a couple of things to you. Keep in mind, all this could be considered conspiracy, but none of it is conspiracy. I'm reporting what has been found. Do your own research. You will find the same stuff. Um, yeah. Now, the speculations are there. Have an open mind when you hear this stuff. Think about what's going on in our times, what has been going on the last few years, and you'll see where the jigsaw puzzles start falling together. Alrighty. First and foremost, I'm going to get into this. Back in 1930, a writer, an American writer named H.P. Lovecraft, wrote this. Bunched together, a group of people deliberately chosen for strong religious feelings, and you will have a practical guarantee of dark morbidities expressed in crime, perversion, and insanity. Now, I don't know how you interpret this. I'm interpreting it to talk about the current administration, but hey, that's me. That's my opinion on the matter. What's your opinion? Okay, so let's go to this other one. I did a little research on the days of the week in even before Rome and the Catholic Church and the Christians and all that. The days of the week were already named, and as you know, we're going to have an alert on October 4th. That actual date really doesn't have a big significance on clicking to anything, but the day of the week does. The day Wednesday is named for the god Woden, who is paralleled with the Roman god Mercury, probably because both gods shared attributes of eloquence, the ability to travel, and the guardianship of the dead. Think about it. Now you're probably going to figure out where my stream's going from here at this point, but we're just quite not there yet. Hold on. I'm trying to close this out so I can go. Let me grab my paper. It's a good thing I wrote it down too. I can close this. I had to save it. All right. First and foremost, I'm going to go into a little bit of the history. As you know, for the longest time, zombies came out in history thanks to a certain Mr. George Romero, rest his soul. When he was in college, he made a movie called Night of the Living Dead, and Hollywood took off with it. Well, I'm giving you a little bit of history. We know Hollywood is corrupt, so possibly Mr. Lovecraft was talking about Hollywood too. You never know. And here's the connection with it. Hollywood. Thanks to Hollywood and a lot of movies and things that they put in there that they shouldn't, and the government supports it, and the people are just there for the entertainment according to what they say. Did you know 9/11? The theory of 9/11 with the Twin Towers was in actual Hollywood, and yeah, the so-called terrorists decided to use that after they got the idea from Hollywood. Hmm. So we'll speed up a little bit because I'm jumping around. You ever watch the movie The Cell? I believe it had who was it? Morgan Freeman and I can't remember the other guy's name in it. But it was about the cell phones setting up a broadcast, and people started, got paralyzed and they started being violent and all that. Yeah. Well, they told all us preppers and everybody in the community to talk about trying to warn people about stuff. Is there a connection to 5G? Hmm. Possibly due to the fact they got to use 5G in order to do the broadcast, these so called tests. And we know about all the tests in the past. They have to have test subjects to do their experiments. Now, keep up with me. You probably heard some of this before. Some people haven't. Some people probably never thought about it. That's the only reason I'm doing this. Now, I'll bring up my special guest and she'll clarify and straighten me up. Okay. Now we go back to Hollywood and how they took all the zombie movies is what they created. They tried making some scary. They tried to make some comedy and all that. But majority, I must say about 60 to 70% of them, there was always a vaccine or some kind of gas that was released. What have we been dealing with for the last couple of years? The Jabberwocky? And a lot of people are like, zombies aren't real. That'll never happen. Well, gee, what did they find? 24,000-year-old zombie virus in the permafrost? That shut a lot of people up. And these are the same people that have control of it that want to, bring back the dinosaur because they're playing with the DNA. So you don't think that there's some people out there that are mentally unstable that want to bring back the dead? Well, if you question it, then you might want to wake up along with all those liberals that have been woken in the last year or so. All right, let's come back to recently. Matter of fact, this weekend. Supposedly, the brain chip by a certain Jovan Musk, inventor or developer or however you want to put it, money-based person, started implants this weekend. Now, if you create a zombie nation or worldwide zombie using 5G through phones and all this other stuff, how could you control them? Eventually, you catch them, you put a brain chip in them, and then you can control them. That's a theory. Like I said, none of this is conspiracy. It's just all that's out there. Can you really control the population at that point? Well, they'll have controlled workers to do stuff. So you really, really got to think about it. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm a religious person. I believe in God and other things. But there's sometimes man will go against God. Man will do things that they want to think. And there's a lot of people out there, especially in our governments, that believe that they're above God. And some possibly in the Vatican. Oh, did I said that out loud? I'm sorry. I was thinking that. Let's back up on it. Okay. And yeah, no one is above God. The ones that worship their God and it's money in some countries are going to realize their God, just like all the other gods, wasn't real because they collapsed. There's only one true living God, and he's been around forever since the beginning of time. And that's the best thing you could do. But I'm going to let you know right now, if you have to face zombies because they actually come, you're not really killing a person. You're not breaking a commandment. Because if you really look at it, thou shalt not kill was not the meaning of the certain commandment. It was not thou shalt not murder, and they changed it to kill. Do your research, you'll see what I'm talking about. They just made it easier. Oh, we'll just change it to kill, just like they changed the Sabbath. That's man thinking that he's above God, and how they're changing all the rules also to fit humanity. So, okay, well, off the God thing. I've been talking for a bit, so let me send this email out to my special guest. And I was going to send it earlier, but I didn't want her sitting backstage waiting. And now, of course, Google's taking its time. All my research, I will tell you, I have done it on Google. And as everybody knows, Google is associated with YouTube. So if YouTube doesn't like it, they need to get with their sister act and talk to them about either fixing their information that they have on their system, or they're just going to have to suck it up and yeah, deal with it because it's out there. I'm using their information from one of their little corporated connections, and yeah, that's how you can battle the well-known people that want to change the rules. So while the email's going out, I'll go ahead and greet everybody real quick. Like I said, I appreciate you coming out here on a Saturday evening. Some of y'all probably getting dressed up, go to the disco. If they even have discos anymore, I have no freaking clue. So, howdy, Lake Ferry. Hope you're feeling better. Sounds like you're being neat and be charming. How you doing? Chris Piat, how you doing? Lori's World, good to see you. Nice ride going up the mountain on that last video again. I love those. Okay, dig deeper. Oh my God, we got a squatch in the freaking chat. Y'all better behave. And if he growls at you, give him some of your snacks you brought. Pappy Two Bears, always good to see you. Bushcraft, how you doing? Jerry Lee, howdy. Agent J. Agent J brought some tacos. Okay, Bigfoot, there you go. You know who to sit next to. Ginger Ninja, how you doing? Okay, let's go. Ruben, how you doing? Dana B, howdy. RLB, good evening. And if I'm missing somebody, I'm sorry. LLCC, how you doing? Yeah, LLC, it's not going to happen. You know it, and I know it. Now, nothing is definite. There is always a possibility of that 1%, and with the evil that we have, it's always a possibility. They didn't think 9/11 would ever happen, and it happened. Yeah, speaking of which, I saw you. Stop flashing. All right. Well, our special guest is here, so I'm going to let that person in. I don't hear no growling backstage, so I guess that's a good thing. Okay. I still got her covered up, so nobody knows who it is. But I bet y'all can guess. Let me find how to take this thing down so y'all can see who it is. All right. There you go. Well, good evening, Lake Ferry. Did you get a jalapeno seed stuck in that gap?
Good evening.
Mm-hmm. Now, I know I skipped stuff because I was writing stuff. I was actually trying to record an entry speech, and then I had too many phone calls and texts going on, so I just stopped and tried to wing it. So hopefully it sounded okay. But
I thought you winged it great. I thought you've been working on it all week.
Oh, no, I know I left stuff out, but I said I have to leave that out. I lined it out, so I'll do that on my video speech.
Yeah. So, what you think? Hey, Ruben. What you think?
Oh, no, that's why I brought you up here.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, you're a little bit more of an expert than I am on that. I'm just putting the puzzles together when I get the puzzle pieces.
I'm definitely not an expert. I've just been screaming this for years now about this sound and the certain things throwing direct energy into other things.
Yep.
And, yeah.
No, go ahead. Sorry.
No, that's it. Yeah. And it's all coming out like a lot now.
Mm-hmm. Now, here's the thing that's got me worried, and So, like I said, man likes to go against God. Man thinks it's smarter than God, and they're going to do their thing. This October 4th thing, I went as far as the time. Okay, on there, and I'm trying to find it right now. What do they call it on October 4th for the warning?
Emergency broadcasting, where FEMA's putting it out.
Yeah. Okay, yeah.
It's either going to be the 4th or the 11th. So if they don't do it on the 4th, they're going to do it on the 11th.
Yeah, I found something interesting when I was looking at that. Well, I'm trying to find it right now.
Okay.
They've done these tests before. Why did you got to keep doing them? Because it's not working the way they wanted to. But if you look back at the time that they did a couple of them, some of the cities with the streets started having these drug-induced zombies walking around. And they only test in certain areas. And if some people do their research, they can find out that they mainly concentrate in those areas. But, I'm not putting it as a fact. Like I said, I want everybody to do their own research on it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to find the Alaskan one, because there was a little thing about FEMA. They put it like it's like a portal lettering for the time.
I thought it was weird that they have a backup test for the 11th.
Yeah, in case they can't do it on the 4th. But it's kind of weird that we'll be in a government shutdown because it's about 85-90% chance that we're going to be shut down because the Democrats don't want to freaking work with the Republicans to keep it going. So yeah, and people are upset about it. Why? There's many protests and strikes going on. Let the government shut down. The government employees should get a day off too. Come on now. Everything's computerized now. You'll still get your Social Security check. They just tap it in the computer before they shut down, and on that date you'll get your money if we have any money. Don't know if the printing presses are automated, but they sure do act like they are.
Yeah. So they're saying for people to actually turn off their phones during that time. But I don't know, because from what I've been reading and hearing from others, these weeks coming up to this date, is that if your phone is off, supposedly they're going to be able to turn it on. So that way you can hear the alert. Have you heard that?
Yeah. People are advising shut them down.
Yeah.
Like at 2 o'clock, because it's supposed to happen at 2:20.
Yeah, 2:20 to 2:50. So this is going to last like a half an hour. So they're saying shut them off for like 2 hours to be safe.
Yeah.
Because there might be, well, this is what's being said, is that there's going to be a high frequency over this broadcasting. Right?
Yeah.
And is that a hand in your mouth?
Yep.
Okay, so I'm going to tell you guys that I'm actually going to keep my phone on that day.
Really?
I am. But I do suggest if you've been drinking the juice at any time during the past few years, maybe those should get turned off. My battery doesn't come out, Bonnie, on the newer phones, does it, Trust?
No, it's a permanent battery that's in there. You got to send the whole phone in. Yep. But my question and all that, out of the 2 o'clock, it's a 2:20. leave it off for 2 hours. Is 20 minutes enough? What if they did run it early?
Ooh.
Why not turn it off at noon and leave it off till like 6 in the evening, just to be on the safe side?
Right.
And don't even have your TVs. I wouldn't even have any of those freaking devices plugged in. Just
Well,
be on the safe side.
Well, most of your TVs are smart TVs now. Your radio.
So you think about it. Do you have appointments or anything scheduled? Are you going to be out and about? And you're like, yeah, it's not going to happen, blah, blah. You go grocery shopping. Next thing you know, the alert's going off, and then you're being attacked.
Mm-hmm.
You'd be like, boy, was I freaking, Can you hear the banjos in the background? Ding, 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 ding. I don't think you got a banjo like Woody Harrelson did in Zombieland, and you get through the freaking grocery store aisles. I would be just a backup, just in case. Have your bug out bag in your vehicle, especially if you're stuck at work. So if stuff happens, you run your vehicle and get that out of Dodge. But, hey, that's just me. You always have to have a backup for anything that happens. You plan for things all the time, so why not plan for this? You think you're smarter than the average, demented freaking scientist? Well, where were you at before the pandemic started? I guarantee you're sitting there, it'll never happen. Well, speaking of Hollywood again, hey, this is like Jurassic Park.
Do you know what misophonia is?
No, but I know you're going to tell us.
It's a selective sound sensitivity syndrome, and it's a condition in which certain sounds trigger an outburst marked by irritation, anger, and or aggression. People with misophonia react in an extreme and often emotional way to certain trigger sounds. So certain high frequency pitch noises can make people angry.
Mm-hmm.
To the point where they could possibly bite others.
Okay. When I was looking at the time that they put, and I'm still trying to find it on the FEMA thing because it was there, and now because I started this, it's not there now, so I don't know if they took it down or not. They are broadcasting this in English and in Spanish in America. So, yeah. So think about it. If you got a tan, they're going after you also.
If you got a tan.
But freaking Google, I swear, I knew I should have freaking copied that link and posted everything. But the time that they put on October 4th at 2:20, they put AKDT, right? And FEMA put it as Alaska time on their site.
Okay.
Now, if you look at the AK, that means Alaska, and then you have the DT. And the reason I'm still trying to find that, because the D and the T, one of those is a scientific word that basically, if you Wikipedia'd it or Googled it, they basically were talking about the 5G and how the levels of frequencies it has can activate certain
metals.
No, certain things like cancer in your body.
Mm-hmm.
And other things have been injected in your body,
right,
and activate them to make you basically make your body overreact. So now, Lori, I know that part, but when I brought it up from the FEMA one, it brought it up as something else. And I was trying to find the word on there. I know the daylight savings time thing, but it wasn't that.
Yeah, that's not till November this year, which is odd, right?
Yeah. Yes. bushcraft are using 10G, but we're talking about 5G because people can't even understand what 5G does to you, let alone 10G. It's a double inflection. And you remember when they were talking about the people at in Cuba that worked at the State Department and they were getting sick
Yeah.
and headaches and all that other stuff?
Yeah, that's Havana syndrome from
Yeah,
Havana.
and they had to bring all those people home and all that.
Yep.
Well, those were the sound waves that they were doing. So
Exactly.
they're doing tests then too.
Yep. And
But
that's
no, that
direct,
will never happen.
that's direct energy.
Yep.
I'm not going to say the other word, but do for short.
hmm
Exactly.
But hey, what do I know? I don't
Yeah.
know.
What do we know? I mean, it could come and go, and we all live happily ever after the next however many years, right?
Yeah.
But who
Hey,
knows?
all I know is I'm following the Bible. God said I'll live to 120, so I'm going to live to 120.
Yeah.
Well, so, but it was like everybody else. They exactly dig deeper. 5G, 10G, 20G, no match for the real G. God, exactly, brother.
Well, that was good. Yep.
Yeah. I bet he was a cheerleader back in high school, huh?
Exactly.
It sounds like 5G, 10G. Sorry,
Exactly.
Bigfoot, I had to do it.
Exactly, Bonnie. That's what I mentioned on 101s is that our body is as much water, almost as much water as the earth has on it.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
No. And the only reason I'm bringing this up is like, there's quite a few people know I'm a strong believer in God, but I'm trying to leave the God portion out of it at the time, just for the fact men are evil. You try to see the good in men, but the majority of them are evil, especially when they think a lot of them don't believe in God themselves. They believe in science. And what has this administration done for the last 2 years? Trust the science.
Trust the science. Yeah, they've really pushed that.
Yeah. So, that's just another jigsaw puzzle that you got in there. And if you're wondering what jigsaw puzzle I'm talking about, that's my background. Yeah. I got a puzzle that looks like that. And the missing pieces are where Lake Prairie and me are. Yeah. So, but, so that gets a little clicker in your mind when we talk about zombies. But think about it. Do you think you control a person if they put a chip in your brain?
Nope.
You don't think they can control a person?
You mean like New Wave or something worse?
Yep.
Yep. Well, New Wave is just basically a dumbed down version of the actual, let's just say, beam.
Yep. So, needless to say, before the Cuba thing came out, if anybody paid close attention to it, the U.S. military does have those, I'll call them sonic wave weaponry.
Yep.
And they also have the laser weaponry.
We absolutely have them.
Yeah.
There's a facility called Diesel where a lot of that is being done
Mm-hmm.
on a regular basis.
Yeah, I had the honor of being in active duty military locations where they worked on stealth before stealth ever came out. So, I was able to see a lot of things, and a lot of things that have not leaked that they have in, I'll say, the armory. So I'm not really worried about that part. But don't tell the potato head because, him and quite a lot of people in this administration aren't allowed to go to these areas. And there's a reason for it, and I can understand. And a lot of people are like, well, we have the right to know. Yeah, the moment we tell you you're freaking trying to make deals with China and all these other countries that are our enemies, that you're going to try to get a job working for them, the government, so you can turn around and sell the secrets to the other country. No, that's not how it works.
Right?
Yep, exactly, Bonnie. They say that's the sound waves are for crowd control.
Yeah.
But how they could control masses of zombies. Think about it. They'd have to use sound waves.
or create them.
Yeah. And why is it so classified? What's actually in the Jabberwockies that they put out there?
I don't know.
You know, what kind of nanotechnology did they put in?
Well, they say DNA.
You know,
Which
now a
is,
lot of people don't like Joe Vaughn, Muskie, and I have questions about his character, but yeah, he's a rich guy. He's done things. He's just like any other billionaire out there.
yep.
But he's going to fandangle and get the government to help him make his billions with his green world energy. Because it's not going to work. Come winter, I want to see how many Teslas are actually driving on the roads when we have a hard winter. Because cold will kill those batteries in a heartbeat.
True story.
I mean, it was hard enough having diesel engines and having to plug them in when we didn't use them when the snow was, and it was bitterly cold and the snow was deep. And the people that have driven those diesel engines know what I'm talking about. They had to plug them in to keep the thing going, to keep the engine warm so they wouldn't freeze. Yeah, think about it. Zombie. Lori wants to know, how can you make your home zombie proof?
Well, I'm thinking we've got metal, like the metal sheeting for a roof that can go on the windows.
The biggest thing is be very, very quiet.
Allie and I and Bigfoot were talking during dinner. There's one question that has not been answered.
Which one?
Bigfoot. Remember what that question was you asked us? What kind of zombies would there be? Yeah. Is it going to be slow, smart ones or dumb, fast ones?
Well, it depends on how the zombies are created. If it's the drug-induced zombies that they've been experimenting on, they're going to be slow.
You think so?
Yeah. The chip implant ones will probably be fast. Because there's people out there who already got the chip in. And okay, I'm going to backtrack for a second to clarify something. Okay, during my research, because I'm doing a lot of different topics, and one thing that I found, and it's in the Bible, I'm not going to say it verbatim because I don't want to misdirect you. Do your own research, you can find it. But when a person passes, they really don't die. Their body does, but basically the way the Bible is written, they go in a deep sleep. They don't feel anything anymore and all that. And they're waiting for the day of Jesus' second coming. Okay? So, with that, do I see the Return of the Living Dead, the bodies coming out of the graves? No, probably not, unless it happened within hours of when they activate everything. But, but no. I think this is just with the people that are here. So, but okay, so let's get back to zombies. And I keep backtracking because of what they talk about in chat. But yeah,
What are they talking about in chat? Limbo.
Every house is different. So it just depends.
How do you make Mima at Lori's World wants to know, how do you make the zombies be deaded?
Double tap to the head.
Yep.
You take out the brain. Why do you think they're putting brain chips in the people? And don't get me wrong, the Jabberwocky, they probably got some nanos that have gone into the head. People who've died from brain aneurysms and heart attacks and all this other stuff. I started reading an article today, but I didn't finish it, so I'm just going to barely touch it. But there's a couple of experts out there that are medical scientists, and they predict a lot of people that took the Jabberwocky by 2025 will not be alive anymore. So, yeah, think about that.
Yeah, I really hope that isn't true. But
yeah, but as far as fortifying your house, every house is different. So you're going to have to just walk around the house several times and think about it. How can you fortify it from outside? And then you got to fortify it again on the inside. And then once you have it done on the inside and outside, go back around and think, well, if they get through this, what's the secondary way to keep them from coming? Because if they get through a fence, then they're going to be at the window. Do you have the window freaking boarded up? Do you have it? You got the metal protective things like they did in The Purge, or what's the deal? And after you take care of the zombies, or they finally get bored and leave, you're going to go out there and try to fix what you can. So that's why you want to have more than just one tier protection around the house. It's just like you don't want only just the solar lights on the outside. You want cameras, so you don't have to open the door. You want to be able to do this and that. Well, that's all fine and dandy, but if we don't got power and I can't go outside to get my generator, well, see, that's another thing. If you can't do that, can you get on the roof of your house? It's like somebody brought up when we were talking about the hurricane a couple of weeks ago. You go up on the attic, make sure you got an axe up there to break the roof.
we got a Bigfoot here.
Yeah. I think you got to worry about those squirrels that are up in the roof.
Hey, Trust.
Hey, Bigfoot.
Hey, you care if I read a Bible verse?
No, go ahead, brother.
All right. This is Zechariah 14:12. This is the prophet talking. This is talking about the end times, right? And it says, "And this shall be the plague wherewith the Lord will smite all the people that have fought against Jerusalem. Their flesh shall consume away while they stand upon their feet, and their eyes shall consume away in their holes, and their tongue shall consume away in their mouth." Kind of sounds like zombies.
That definitely sounds weird.
Yeah.
I've always taken that to be prophetic of like a nuclear fallout type thing.
That could be possible.
Yeah.
Too.
The eyes burn out because you looked at the blast and all
Yeah,
the radiation and everything starts affecting the rest of the body.
Yeah, and their flesh consumes away while they're still on their feet. Like before they can even move, it's like.
Yeah. But,
Thank you.
thank you. See, and that's probably one of the reasons it's awesome to have Josh here to listen and quote these things. Well, I actually read them out of the Bible. He's not even quoting; he's just reading straight out. But you shouldn't really quote the Bible unless you're saying it directly what it is, because you don't mislead people from the Bible verses. They're in there. But I have a hard time because I got like 17 Bibles here, and it'd be very hard to choose which Bible I want to read from.
Well, they're all good.
Yeah, they're all good. But I'm a little biased about the King James one because I know the history of that one.
You and me both.
So, even though I still have it and I still read it, and then I get the big Bible, a research book, I still call it a Bible, that breaks down every Bible denomination, explains why they wrote it that way. Oh my God. Yeah. And I just say, I'm just going to do what to celebrate.
Yeah, there you go.
It's easier. I can't get in trouble for quoting what to celebrate. So.
Hey, Klein. I wonder what the big theme parks are going to do that day. Ooh, that's a good question.
Well, if you're on a Ferris wheel, you might be safe initially, but eventually if those zombies can climb, they're going to get you. So, but You know, me personally, I'll be at home. My stuff's going to be off. Hey, if I want to watch a movie, I'll put my DVD player on. My TV won't be connected to anything electronic. That's why I don't get smart TVs because I don't want them freaking listening and all that other crap. My laptop will be disconnected and completely off. And this is a good time to test too. If you have your stuff off and it comes on and alerts you when you have it completely off, if they have the technology to turn your stuff on to alert you, then think about it. They can listen to you without it being on.
Sure, sorry.
So,
Would you like my radioactive sneak peek at one of my paintings?
yeah,
Yeah?
sure.
Okay.
I was expecting you to talk more about that video you dropped, but
You want
your
me
painting
to?
thing.
That's what we got so far. Okay. So more of the video that I
Hold
which
on, I gotta go to StreamYard so I can see where it's sharing. Oh, I don't see nothing there.
which
Okay.
video are you talking about?
The one you dropped today on me.
Oh, that one.
Yeah. The
Okay.
guy was saying, yeah, 2 o'clock, do it for 2 hours. And
Well, I didn't know how
I'm
much you
saying if it
wanted.
doesn't happen, it may happen later. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So
I
yeah.
guarantee you, if it doesn't happen nationwide, it's going to happen in a certain portion of the country. And think about it.
Right. Well,
If it only happens in a certain part, that means they're testing the different things going on. And why do I say is the drug zombies? Think about it. Is this administration really trying to stop fentanyl? No. They just keep throwing money at it, and that money, we don't even see it going there. All thing we know about it is the Border Patrol's the ones catching this stuff. Where does it go from there? Have they shown that they destroyed it? I remember back in the 80s and 90s, they catch all the freaking marijuana coming across. At least once every 3 months, they show a big old marijuana burn where they're destroying this stuff. I haven't seen one fentanyl burn yet. Anybody else? Wow, everybody saw your picture. I didn't see nothing. What the heck? Lori, I have no idea if it's going to be just nationwide U.S. or I'm pretty sure it's just the U.S. unless your illustrious leader that y'all love so much has worked out a deal for notifications for anybody along the border. But if you're close enough to the reception of the U.S., you might just receive it too. So be careful. Mima might be two-stepping towards you.
I'm still here.
Okay, so did you show your picture? Or your painting, should I say?
I did a quick glance, yes.
Okay.
Yep.
I was wondering because I switched from YouTube to StreamYard and everybody's saying, oh, nice picture. And I'm like, what? I
So
didn't see it. I was just switching.
so here's the thing where see, I don't want to get you in any trouble either. That's why I've been being careful of the words I'm using. So we're talking about zombie things and direct energy and different things, but what if the high frequency sound awakens something in certain people to create the next something worse than what we've been dealing with the past 3 years?
And that's what I was trying to find that word in the FEMA thing in Alaska's FEMA.
Right.
Because the letter D or T, it's a long scientific word.
Yeah.
So I had to look at it and try to break it down and pronounce it, and half the people will laugh at me and the rest will be like, what the hell is that word?
What?
I have to read the definition from Wikipedia, but it basically states it activates something in your body, and it actually mentions vaccine to make the body react.
React, exactly.
So, I mean, and if you have any words you're leery about, you want to say, just put it in private, and I'll give you a code word to use.
So, like, one of the things that is said not to be in this that is still being talked about. That might be how.
Okay, let me look. Yeah, and those two were mentioned in that word that I'm trying to talk about too. I wish I could find it on the Alaska FEMA thing.
The starts. You mean,
Yeah.
is it the kind of word like of some kind of illness? Or is it something else?
No, I believe it's something else.
Okay.
It would be like a steroid for that first one to
Right.
activate in the body. So if you basically if you got the Jabberwocky, you have certain particles in your body that are just spread, and when the sound goes around, this so-called sound will be like a steroid activating it, and then your body's going to start reacting in certain ways.
Going haywire.
Yeah, and yeah. And I'll go ahead and say the second one, DNA.
Mm-hmm.
Which brings us back to look at all the years of research they've done on DNA. Think about it. You know, tell me they have not tried to mess with it. Y'all seen all those weird videos where they tried changing the monkey DNA to something else, and they ended up getting like Goat Boy.
Well, speaking of change,
Yeah.
the ones that have been given out the past few years, they found some things. So what they're trying to do now is make safer ones, because what they found is DNA.
Mm-hmm.
DNA shouldn't be in them at all. So why is it there? So, then they got to bring on the autoimmune and the vitamin deficiencies and what was the other thing? The heart stuff.
Yep.
Or worse. So there's a few people now who made the thing that you can test to see if you have the thing so you can go to work.
Yep.
The man who made that test is the one who's bringing this forward.
Mm-hmm. Which I'm going to throw something else out there, because the elites in the U.S., there's a certain guy that used to run a computer company, or he owned a computer company with his wife till they got divorced, and he got kicked off the board and stuff. We know him as Farmer Bill, since he owns a lot of property now. He came out with a thing saying that it's useless to plant trees. You have to do away with fossil fuels. The trees aren't going to do anything to save the planet. What has this guy been smoking? I know he hasn't visited Lori at Lori's World, and hasn't gone over to, Longboarded Mom's part of the area. So he's been smoking some, probably some fentanyl laced freaking Skittles or something. Because
I think it's called Trank.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because the whole freaking thing is, it's been scientifically proven. If you're following the science, trees take out the CO2 from the air. CO2 is bad for human beings. We need oxygen, not CO2.
Right. So trees give off CO2, and they take in the CO2 and give off oxygen.
Exactly. But he's dead set against it. Of course he is. He has all this farmland. He doesn't want to be mandated to put trees and all that property. Hell, and he can't freaking put his genetically induced corn.
Well, the amount of trees is on the earth because we breathe out carbon dioxide. So the trees are back there to replace our oxygen.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently they forgot that in their science.
Yeah. Hey, Ruben.
Hey, Ruben.
Yeah. They forget about the basics of science because they think they're smarter. He's like, hey, I was smart enough to steal this freaking idea, create this global freaking computer company. Yeah, you didn't create the idea, buddy. Just like old, Garden Gate didn't frickin' invent the internet either. But they know how to fandangle people out of money. Let's just put it that way. So you still giving the climate change? Because, y'all owe me about $18 trillion. I could pay off some of the deficit, except the part that the liberals put in there. And, then we can have a real tree party. Because if you look at the history of the ice age and the warming of the planet and everything else, it was a whole lot warmer way before man came around.
Mm-hmm.
So how did it get so hot?
Well, country against country or country with other country, they can do certain things to the sky to make weather happen.
Yeah, I don't believe that. Mother Nature has her way of handling it.
Oh no, of course, God controls the weather, but I think people are messing with it too.
Oh yeah, they're trying to mess with it, but
to cause little and big events to be like, oh, look over here while we do this.
Yep.
Or, maybe another country goes to another country and makes a little thing happen. It's like bragging. It's like government bragging, I think, from one government to the next.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh, look what I can do.
Yep.
Who knows?
Yeah, B. Charman says follow the science. It's like, no, you actually got to follow the money. If you follow the money, you're going to find out it leads to science. And science only gets about 30% of the money while everybody else puts the rest in their pocket.
It's all about money and power.
Yeah. And if you look at the history of man and how long they've been recording, we've been around longer than they've been recording weather. I mean, I think the Egyptians recorded weather a whole lot better than we have in the last 150 years. And, I think it's kind of funny that you have like 8 nations that reported on the Great Flood. None of them mention climate change or global warming.
Interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. I say it's time for some of these freaking people that think they're smarter than anything else to start making that climb to the top of that Hindu freaking mountain and talk to some of the Hindu people that are up there. Because the Hindu monks that are way up there, the wise men, they probably know a whole lot more than the gaggle of people that are in Washington right now.
But you think we'll have some kind of large sky event to make people think that that's why things are happening?
No, they'll come up with some way. They got to make people look up to distract them so they don't see what's going by them on the ground.
Right. Yep.
But, so I say in about 20 years, I want to know how many people like the radiated tuna and fish that they get from the Pacific Ocean. Because, radiation is not going to affect the animals that are in there.
Radiation affects all kinds of things, including...
Oh, no. Even the UN thinks it's okay to dump all that radiated fuel.
Oh.
They filtered it.
Doesn't that cause weather changes as well?
Well.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and here's a train of thought. It's a little bit off key, but you got to look at it.
Okay.
You want to disprove science? Okay. The North American plate in the U.S. is moving 4 inches a year west. 4 inches. Right?
Uh-huh.
So when is the United States going to meet up with Hawaii? If you average 4 inches a year. They got it down to the science that, it only moves 4 inches a year. But they haven't calculated every time there's an earthquake, and it shifts because the plates are grinding underneath. It moves more than 4 inches. So this is where science is wrong because they always forget a lot of elements that add into it. Volcano parts cause more freaking dangerous gases and CO2 and everything else than freaking all the automobiles that we have running in America.
Did you say volcano farts?
Yep, that's what I call them, volcano parts.
Nice.
Yep. And don't get me wrong, the reason I call them farts is because you got underground volcanoes. What happens with somebody sitting on the edge of a freaking pool on the steps and they fart? There's bubbles. These underwater volcanoes, which is more than the ones above ground, are letting out a lot of bubbles. And what do you think's in those bubbles? All the dangerous gases that they say that we're creating. That's coming from the core of the freaking Earth.
Yeah. Did you see that? What was it? They had that thing on where they were doing that underwater thing where they were, I think that's over, I think today, or it was either the 23rd, 24th, or 27th. They were going to stop that, but they were showing it live, and they found these bubbles coming up underneath a coral reef.
Yeah.
Well, what are the bubbles? Isn't that cool? It was really cool to watch.
Mm-hmm. Now I'm trying to remember the gas that's coming out of the mountainside in California. Has been doing it for at least 10 years.
Oh, unicorn queefs, butterfly farts, and Smurf tears.
Yep. Yep.
Sorry.
But
in all seriousness.
no. But the mountainside in California that separates California from Arizona and Nevada has been leaking. I can't remember the chemical. Methane. There you go. Methane. For over 10 years.
Yeah.
And they haven't found a way to seal it. Now, methane is bad for the ozone, the air, the environment, and everything else. But if you look at half the climate change reports, they're saying we're the ones creating the methane. No, California is, because they didn't freaking seal the problem that they have. Think about it.
A lot of the things, like Bonnie said, the earth takes care of itself. Yeah, God created this earth to take care of itself. So we were put here to take care of it. And then people with their stinking thinking happen and create a bunch of craziness and chaos and things that need to be fixed that don't need fixing.
Yeah.
Do you just, yeah.
Some of those people overthink. We're supposed to take care of the earth and the animals.
Right.
Yeah, well, that doesn't mean that we're not supposed to still live. That means plant trees, plant food, take care of the animals. Well, the animals wouldn't have freaking diseases and all that if we took care of the earth properly. Hello. Hey, Carlson, how you doing?
Hey, Carson. Hi, Marlene.
So, yeah, that's why the weather manipulation that LCC is mentioning, I don't believe in it because Mother Nature, by the act of God, will regenerate itself. It goes through cycles. It knows what's going on and what it needs to do. But they'll still blame it. They'll still be blaming cow farts when everybody's getting 3rd-degree burns when they walk outside. Now, it's not the sun. Then why do they want to block the sun? I read that report where the administration wanted to find a way to block the sun. For what? That grows trees and plants and stuff that we eat. So much for the plant-based freaking burgers at Burger King or McDonald's. They block the sun.
Yeah, they're thinking, there's a lot of people now that think that's a good idea.
Well.
So if they're thinking it's a good idea, what news are they being fed that we're not? Like, why do they think that that's a good idea? They're making people think that there's something coming that we don't know about, that they can't tell us. So blocking out the sun is a good idea.
Yeah, but we're supposed to go to green energy, and one of them is solar. So you won't have no solar energy because you're blocking the sun. Think about it.
They don't think beyond their own buttocks.
No, they just come up with an idea when they fart, and hey, how can we make money from it?
I
Let's
think
scare people.
I think their gases are coming out the wrong end.
No, don't be charming. You cut your grass, that's fine. You got to cut your grass. The grass will renew. Now, did you pick up the grass clippings, or did you leave them?
We leave ours in the yard, and then we collect different kinds of grass clippings for the compost.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I like to we're still trying to build turf here, so I like letting the grass grow, getting that seed, and then I chop it up both ways when I do the lawn, and I let every other seed go right back into the lawn. And so far, it's working. Because when we first moved here, we had like no grass.
Mm-hmm.
It was all just the pine needles were so thick through this whole yard, front, back, sides. It was so thick that you could actually dig a little bit with a shovel and roll it. It was easier to roll it in rolls.
Mm-hmm.
That's how thick it was.
Yeah. I'm not looking forward to doing my yard again. I'm doing that tomorrow before it rains. But supposedly we're supposed to get a storm come through.
Yeah,
that bypasses and hit Dallas and Oklahoma, but hey.
We have a chance of rain tonight too, and then I think we have rain coming. I don't remember, tomorrow maybe, and then we don't have rain again for a while.
No.
But that could change.
Okay. And if y'all, everybody in chat, and any of y'all find any subjects that you can research or feel interested in, and you still don't believe the zombies are coming, here's one for you. Back in the 70s was the last time they talked about acid rain.
Ooh.
Notice we don't hear about acid rain anymore. What, we fixed the problem?
Dun, dun, dun.
Did they throw Malox in the clouds when they're freaking seeding and it solved the acid part? You know, hello. So, you got to really think about that.
Well, what about all these big companies that say things are safe and that they're doing this and they're doing that so that way their pollution doesn't seep out into things? What if they make so much money, they're calling it something else?
Yep. Oh, and they say, oh, we got filters on our smokestacks. And while they're diverting you to put the videos and you're watching the smokestacks, look at the smoke, they're pumping everything out into the river next to the factory. Think about it. That's how they work. Don't believe me? Wide majority of all nuclear facilities in the U.S. on earthquake faults.
Yeah.
Oh, somebody just got a headache. I can feel their migraine coming on. Drink some water. You'll be fine. Before you start popping freaking Tylenol, Midol, or whatever you're going to pop, drink water. Half the time, half your freaking symptoms in your body is because you're dehydrating. You're lacking water.
Yeah. Water's good to flush your system and to flush your sinuses. Anybody who has a cold, the best expectorant is water.
Yep. Almost every time you're sick, they say hydrate. Last time I looked, there was no freaking Gatorade back in caveman days. They just drank water. Okay, hold on. Okay. You do what you need to do. And she's muted for a minute. She's got something she needs to take care of, so I'll just rent by myself. CB China says I do have grass rot hill on the back where we dump it. Good stuff. Yep. Yep. The number one thing you can't survive without is water. You can survive with food. Remember, they say 3 days. I don't think I can last more than 24 hours without water. Because if you know me and you've been around me long enough, I'm constantly running coffee through my body. And you can't make coffee with Gatorade. So, yeah. Think about it. And coffee is 95% water. So, yeah. I'll toughen it up and have no creamer and no sugar. Worst comes to worst. But I definitely have to have my caffeine from the coffee. I'll do without sodas and all that other stuff. And be charming. I know you could use some rain. I could use some Powerball rain coming my way. I guess I gotta get up and go out and buy me a ticket in order for it to rain on me, though. So, but let's see, what do they have so far? They said 15, 16 named storms this month. We still got 2.5 months for hurricane season. So, with this extreme Nino, which they're scared to freaking call the extreme Nino, because none of these weather people, they don't even have it in their records of El Nino being this strong. And I know back when we had the hottest temperatures on Earth, before man, we had El Ninos this strong that, yeah, that explains it. There was no man around. Dinosaurs didn't know how to write, so they couldn't write down how hot the temperature was. You know, they got hot. What did they do? They went into the water. Some went into the tar pits, but hey, you can't be all smart dinosaurs, I guess. But you definitely need water. And people mention, oh, you need to do it this way, you need to do it that way. You do it the way you feel comfortable after you do your research. Some say use steel, some say use plastic barrels, this or that. You use whatever is comfortable for you to be able to move, to store, and everything else. Exactly, Ruben. No Bud Light. Yeah. Bud Light is done. They really think that they can make a comeback. I don't see Bud Light coming back. I really don't. They'll try to change the name. They'll do away with Bud Light, and they'll try to change the name and bring it back. And it's going to be the same stuff. It won't work. That company might as well just freaking switch to making, I don't know, fake Gatorade. I don't know. I personally don't like Gatorade myself, but Powerade tastes a whole lot better. But either way, I don't drink either. You really got to look at it. When people live to be 200, 300 years old in the Bible, they didn't have Gatorade and Powerade. They didn't have probiotics. They lived off the land. They drank water. Yep. When they discovered tea, they drank tea. And when they discovered coffee, they had coffee. And I'm just going to say it out there. And if I offend any Arabic person in the back, I'm sorry. But Arabic freaking coffee, no. No. I'll drink their tea because their tea tastes like coffee. But the coffee, no. I'd rather just get coffee grounds, put them in my mouth, and just, absorb it that way. Yeah. Much more tasting.
Right. So, with all this, with upcoming, what's coming in November 2024, right?
Christmas?
That's December. Well, this administration isn't good. Like, even their own party is saying he's too old. Correct?
Yeah.
Right. So they don't want to lose that space. Right? They want to keep that on that side, correct?
Yeah.
So what do you think the big chances are of some huge diversion or some conflict happening to where they need to put in a certain emergency to keep that spot? Like right now on the ground in a certain country, we have us and Russia on the ground, for instance.
Yeah.
Okay. So what is the probability of maybe something like us going and having some games with another country and that putting in place the administration that we have now to stay in because of what may happen?
Well,
or zombies.
Yeah. I wouldn't pass by this administration because they follow the science so deeply, and everybody's starting to figure out that Fauci is one of those descendants from the German scientist that Hitler had. So, Yeah, I think possibly his dad had German descendants and his mom had Chinese descendants. So like that's why he's working closely, with the crap that he's doing.
Maybe like borrowing money from the certain C country so we can be in debt to them while we're, giving more money to the U country.
Yeah.
Ay, ay, ay.
Well, the U country is just a cover up. So.
Yep.
But either way, that region's done with. I've been saying it for over 20 years, even when I was active duty, that we needed to pull out of Europe, and Europe needs to take care of themselves. World War II was over. They should have learned what happens when you don't have a freaking strong military to defend yourself. And they should have been building it all these years instead of us taking care of it. Period. And that's almost everywhere around the world. My great prediction is I'm waiting for China to hit Taiwan, because I really hope and I really pray that Taiwan whoops China's ass within the first 24, 48 hours.
Right.
And ends up stalling like the U country did to Russia. Because y'all don't remember, Putin, we're just doing exercises. Then he invaded. Then he tried saying it was because they're Nazis. But if you look at everything he said in his speeches and everything he's been doing, he's been following the Hitler playbook. Think about it.
Mm-hmm.
And China still believes, the Justice lifetime leader still believes that they're going to be the new world order. And I think Taiwan's capable of doing what they need to do. That's why China's been threatening Japan with nukes. Gee, they're following the playbook that Putin's doing about nukes. We've already seen lawsuits from other countries to China that the military equipment that they bought from China does not work. Their fighters, their boats, their weapons. None of it works. So they scammed all these countries. Think about it. Does China really have the technology to freaking whoop somebody's ass? Yeah, they got a lot. Big Navy. Wah. But if their stuff doesn't work, they just got bodies in the water. Think about it. We can take ski boats and freaking run them over. Not saying that our special forces use ski boats, but hey, I can't talk about that.
One of those videos I sent you earlier is now set to private.
Ooh, okay.
Bum, bum, bum.
Yep.
Hi.
Yeah. And they're finding out that, they could develop all this stuff, but their equipment's all breaking down because they don't have the technicians to actually build this stuff. And half the people, the conditions they live in, why are they going to make something right? They're just going to make it to the point, well, pass inspection and let's get it out of here. Because they're being forced to work. If you don't believe me, go back and look at their air quality inspections that they did. All these mayors are paying off, saying that their townships and their areas in China were their air quality was real good. And if you didn't see any of the videos, they had people going out there and spray painting rocks and everything else, making it green. So if they ever flew or drove by, it looked like, it's a nice, healthy area. The air's clean. Now, they checked the air quality, and it was all freaking dangerous for people who live there. But yet they had people living there. So, needless to say, any Chinese infiltrators freaking reporting back to China, you can tell Untrusted God doesn't think they got a chance in the world. I had the opportunity to work with one of their squadrons in the Gulf War, and I wasn't too impressed. Now, the ones that did impress me was the SAS. They did impress me, and the Israel military impressed me also. And I'm like, thank God we're not fighting Israel. we'd have a battle with SAS, but since they have such a small military, we'd be able to walk all over them if that ever came to it. But we're allies, so I'm not worried about them. Hey, Bear Truth. Glad you woke up from your nap. Or are you getting ready to go to bed and you just got out of the shower?
Hey, Bear.
So, Lake, I'm going to give it to you for about a minute or so I can go get some fresh Folgers so I can rub it in B. Charmin's, I see her thirsty in chat.
Okay. Well,
Folgers. It's better than get to the last drop because you have another cup coming.
while he's gone, we'll just do a quick intermission. I'm gonna paint with Lake. How about that? I'll read chat. Yeah, LLC, I agree. Yeah, social credit scores. I don't want any of those, that's for sure. So what you doing, Bear?
Breaking news. Lakeberry's painting. Yeah. People in chat are like, I bet you never thought, people in chat, you'd see Lakeberry paint on Trusted God's channel on a Saturday night.
On a Saturday night, even. Oh.
We're party animals here. We're at home on YouTube. B. Charmin's like, I'm kind of social. I score high. Yeah, B. Charmin's everywhere. All the Folgers she drank all day long.
Does B drink Folgers?
Yeah, that's her. She said she was a Folgers addict earlier. So.
Yeah, I like my Folgers. Yeah.
So I didn't get to look at the whole picture, and you don't have to back away so I can look at it. So don't. Is those clouds?
Up here?
Yeah.
Yeah. The light, my laptop sucks for like any kind of.
No, you didn't have to move it. I just wanted to make sure I was seeing right there were clouds. It could be waves too. It's like, oh, tsunami. Oh.
Yeah, I'm not done with the sky yet, and you can't even tell what's down here because the laptop. I don't know why the laptop does that, but I got a whole tree line going down this way, and now I'm just creating a separator. So it'll take me a little while to blend this in. Yeah. It's a process that Bigfoot likes to refer to the train wreck stage.
Yeah, and just to let you know, if you in chat or just look at the painting and see what Lakeberry's doing, look to your left. When she's painting, all her fish go right there and watch her paint.
They do.
Like, are you painting us a new home? Are we going to be able to freaking swim in it? Yeah, one of these days we're going to have to make you do a painting that you could be behind the fish tank.
Oh.
The fish could always see the painting when they're swimming around.
Yeah, we used to have like those drop things that go behind a fish tank. Mm-hmm. We got rid of them all. I didn't really like them.
So where's he at? I can't remember who said they were having a new knife come out on Tuesday. If you're in there, I'm sorry. There's so many people in chat back and forth. So somebody said they're having a new knife come out, and all weekend I've stayed off YouTube. So
A new knife?
yeah, they make knives. So, but yeah, knives are important, especially in the zombie apocalypse.
Yeah, the longer knife or steak, the better, I guess.
Oh.
You don't
Here in
want to
Texas, we don't have to worry about it. We can have anything up to the size of a sword and open carry it. So,
I'd imagine you don't want to get too close.
now I wouldn't carry a sword like Thor did. Those suckers are heavy, and you'll wear yourself out trying to freaking swing it. But a katana, even though it's still short, I probably want to go longer. But hey, maybe one of those fencing swords. 'Cause all you're really doing is trying to poke them in the eyeball or in the brain, anyway. So. But, of course, you always should have at least minimum of one knife, and I'm not talking about a squirrel or a pocket knife either. Like Lake Perry said, the longer the better.
Yeah, like maybe a sharp pokey stick or something.
Yeah. And when you're looking at knives to purchase, don't buy one just because of the cost. It could have a big blade, but the handle's pretty loose when you're looking at it. It's probably going to break on you when you stick it in your first zombie head. So, and then you pull it out, and all you got is a handle, and that's going to be useless at that point. So, you want to find one that's got a good, strong handle, but intertwined with the steel. So, and don't rub the freaking zombie juices on your clothes either. You go home, the missus or the mistress doing the laundry is going to be mad. It's like, you can't go anywhere without freaking bringing back zombie juice. And that's one thing nobody ever talks about. So when you stick a zombie, right, it splatters its blood, whatever chemicals it's got inside, right? Is there anything aerosol that we should be worried about dealing with them?
Good question.
Because all the zombie movies always talk about, don't get the blood in your eyes, your mouth, your nose, your ears, an open wound or cut.
But then you got the ones walking on The Walking Dead covering themselves with zombie guts.
Hey, if I knew it worked and I had to do it, I would do it, but I'd get a jumpsuit so it really wouldn't ruin my good clothes. I'd put the jumpsuit on and then freaking cover that sucker.
Yeah.
Hey, Simpson Pimps.
Simpson Pimps thinks zombies rock.
Yeah, they do. They got all types. They haven't even freaking developed all of them yet. I'm surprised Lake didn't mention alien zombies yet.
Well,
they do have some supposedly alien bodies, and they did DNA tests, and there's DNA, as we were talking about DNA earlier, and it doesn't fit in our DNA spectrum of humans.
Mexico actually is testing out those alien bodies that they found right now, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. To me, they look like they're concrete made. They didn't even look like bodies.
They look like those little ones, yeah. They're weird.
Yeah. Someone made it out of cake, make the mold, and hey, but I wasn't up close and personal with it, which I wouldn't, because it's just like we're the ones that go into the pyramids when they find a pyramid. Archaeologists, they're scientists, and they still haven't figured out when you go into one of those, all that bad air that's been in there for centuries, they're breathing that, and they get sick and die and all that other crap. Come on, the spelunkers, which majority of them are not freaking scientists, know better. If you go in a cave, you take a breathing apparatus with you, spare oxygen, all this other stuff before you go in the cave. If you definitely don't light a match.
Because of the gases down there.
Well, thank you, Sippin' Pimps. I hope you enjoy it. This is a special evening of talk about zombies. We talk about everything and everything,
Yep.
but tonight's mostly about zombies. And the young lady that is walking away from her painting right now. Oh, she's back. She's got the tools. She'll just get a zombie. She'll have Bigfoot. Her hubby could open a zombie if they capture one, and then she'll dip her paints and start painting up the clothes and stuff with the zombie blood. So then walk through the zombies like The Walking Dead. There you go. You don't have to touch it with your hands. You just freaking use your paintbrushes.
Shop towels, lots of them.
Which I never realized. You know, they got these lithium battery freaking paint sprayers.
Uh-huh.
Aren't they smart enough on The Walking Dead? Then they gut a zombie, collect all the freaking zombie blood, juice, whatever you want to call it, Gatorade. I'll call it Gatorade. And then put it in this battery operated paint sprayer. And then if you put overalls on and cover your face and stuff, you can freaking spray that all over. So you got all the zombie remnants all over you without having to put the guts all over your shoulders and hanging off your pockets. Yeah, Lucille. Yeah, I want a Lucille. One of these days I'll go buy one of the Tractor Supplies and pick me up some bob wire so I can make me my own personal Lucille. Right now I got my machetes and my axes till I get a Lucille. I got plenty of bats though. Some of them are aluminum. Some are wooden. If I get in the fix, I'll just screw in some or pound in some nails in the wooden ones, screw in some metal screws, and then use the grinder to grind down the end sticking out to make it pointy.
Well, now it sounds like one of those Negan bats where you got a bat.
That's Lucille.
Lucille, yeah.
Yeah, he called it Lucille. So.
Yeah, you're right. He did. Yep.
Yeah, when I looked at all the freaking characters that were in Walking Dead,
Mm-hmm.
that's after one day. If I had to be one of the characters, who am I? I'd probably be Negan. I'd love to swing the bat. And I can understand the psychology of having to run a group of people and then having to terrorize other people. I can understand, not that I would want to do that, but I can understand the psychology behind it.
Yeah.
You know.
I don't know.
Of course, I think it was wrong that they freaking cut off the head of the freaking doctor.
Yeah.
Now, Grandpa might have been old, but he was a vet. So, all you had was horses and, he could fix people. Why you can get rid of the only doctor you got?
I should go grab my phone.
Okay.
That way I can set up my phone instead of the laptop. What do you think?
If you want to, I was going to ask you, think about this. If you think we should make this open panel and get some people up here to get their suggestions, what we've talked about. And, because everybody's got an opinion.
Definitely. Yeah.
And think about who you want to. When you come back, pop it in private chat and I'll send them an email.
Oh, any of the people that we normally have. Yeah.
Well, I don't know if any of them are here. They might have left already.
You think
we were up to 20 and then.
You think Bear and Bush left?
I don't know. Is Bear still here? Bushcraft still here? Anybody that normally comes up still here?
Let me check.
All right, LLCC. You have a good night, and hopefully you check out Deeper Ministries tomorrow if he's going live.
Yeah, he's actually preparing now up in the other room.
If he's still in here, instead of being a slacker pretending to be preparing,
he is.
I'm calling him out. He can tell us at what time. And of course, we also have the Vineyard Chicks will be doing their.
No, those two are somewhere else, if you know what I mean.
Oh, tomorrow they're not going to be on?
Oh, no. I mean, the ones we were just talking about,
Oh,
Bushy Bear show there.
oh yeah, I kind of figured where they're at.
Yeah, yep.
Let's talk about trucks.
Junks, tires, and anything that breaks.
Yeah,
Goodness.
but I don't know. I don't know who else is in chat. Y'all gotta let me still know. I don't know if Shift Kicker's still in here.
Ginger Ninja. I must have missed Shift Kicker popping in. When did she pop in?
Who?
I thought you said Shift popped in.
I thought she was on at the beginning, but
Bonnie's is in chat still, I think.
Well,
Um,
well, you probably have their email, so
I don't have her email. I don't think. Bonnie, are you still in chat? And do I have your email?
hey, Demon King. Well, we've been talking about zombies and the jigsaw puzzles of everything that's leading to it. A lot of people don't believe in zombies, but possibilities are always there. You know, if climate change is a 1-2% that we're affecting global warming, then there's a 1-2% chance of zombies being created too. So if I use their science that they want us to follow, they just screw themselves because zombies are coming. So every stream is different. We talk about the subjects of the day, what's going on. Try to keep the non-politics out of there, except making fun of Potato Head and the lost lady that can't find Taco Bell at the border. Bonnie says she doesn't know.
Yeah, I don't think so. If it has anything to do with Bonnie's, it didn't come up. Nothing came up in my email.
Mm-hmm.
I have to clean my email out again. I'm getting full again.
Yeah, I wiped mine out.
Uh,
They don't make it easy for me to copy their email and then put in my address book. It gets deleted. I don't save emails. I can't. I mean, I'm not as bad as you. You got the Library of Congress every day, but I could probably fill up, a mobile library every day. Holy Toledo! She's been cloned. Oh, okay, we're safe.
we were almost
I
cloned.
thought your clone came in.
Well, yeah, my laptop was running out of juice.
So, in chat, to keep non-political out, because really don't want to talk about politics, because today is National Checkers and Dogs in Politics Day, so we want to keep it rightly good for the dogs that are in politics, which aren't many. They're forced to be. But if you have any subjects you'd like to talk about, we got probably about another 24 minutes, and I'm going to call the stream. And I'm pretty sure Lake wants to go talk about trucks.
No, actually, I'm good. I had enough vehicle stress today
Oh, okay.
with our middle daughter coming over here with her loud vehicle.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Which reminds me, later on this week, it's going to be National Tune-Up Day. So if you haven't tuned up your vehicle yet, you may want to before winter sets in.
We're actually due for an oil change. Boom, boom, boom.
Yeah. Want to get all that before the winter because not that I like dishing on weather people, but a lot of them don't know what they're talking about, and they went to liberal colleges. I can tell by the way they talk, by the way.
You think so? Is that color a little bit better?
Oh, hold on. Zoom. Oh, yeah. Now you can see it a whole lot better.
Okay. So, yeah, I got the
You got rainbow clouds. Let's see.
kinda. Well, I'm not done yet, and there's an awful glare because of my lighting, but
Yeah. Well, that's fine. I know you'll fix the glare eventually.
yeah, it's gonna be right up here. See that little indication of a little color?
Is that ET coming home?
Now there's going to be a moon right there.
Oh, okay.
And then down here we have, I don't know how good you can see the trees.
Yep. I could tell. I definitely could tell those are trees.
Yeah.
Now that you're using the phone.
And then this will be covered up down here. You'll just see this part, but this is the fog. Because there must be a separator between your lights and your darks.
Okay. Well, while you're talking, you can answer this too. Like, Bonnie wants to know, when do you think there will be a blackout?
I honestly don't think that. It's hard to say. Like, it depends on what kind you're thinking of. Like, all over the place. I think that it would actually take something huge for that to happen. And I think it would be something noticeable, and then the lights would go out. Or it would be like an EMP or something like that. So
Human says 3-4 beers. Stop drinking that Bud Light. Sorry, I had to throw that in there.
yeah,
Yeah. Well, Bonnie, in my opinion, we're gonna have the Ring of Fire with the sun coming up in October. I believe it's October. I don't remember the exact date. But because I've been seeing all these warnings, people get their glasses, go to the state parks, you'll be able to see it. I guess it's where the moon blocks the sun, and all you see is the outer rims of the sun, so it looks like a ring of fire.
oh,
So, some people are calling it 3 days of darkness. I don't think it's going to last 3 days, a couple hours, But yeah, if you're talking about that kind of blackout, now if you're talking about a weather blackout, some parts could possibly see a weather blackout this winter, because there's going to be heavy snow in quite a few places. And some of those places, unfortunately, because the people they elected administratively in their local areas or their state level, we already know the freaking federal government's not going to do anything. When the snow comes down, the ice comes down, trees come down, power lines go down, and everybody's complaining that they're cold, they got no power, and they expect the power guys to go out there and freaking fix it in those temperatures while you sit at home covered in blankets complaining. Think about it. I've not seen once, not even on news feeds, these people are out there busting their butts in bad weather, especially the winter weather, trying to get the power back up. You don't see people organize, let's get a hot chocolate or coffee and some soup and stuff. We just set it up so we can feed these people while they're trying to do that. Why not? You don't appreciate the power guys trying to get the power back on? Shame on you. Yeah, it's going to be a black winter in certain parts.
I mean, I guess if they were to do it, it would be when we all had winter.
Yeah, Bonnie, I read into that too, and I don't trust ERCOT. That's why I got my backups, but ERCOT needs to learn. Stop selling the power to other states. We're our own individual state with the power. Keep the freaking power. They should have learned from February that certain year that they screwed up. But hey, they like to sell the extra power to make the extra money because they don't track that. But I guarantee you, Governor Abbott's probably going to track it if we have a hard winter, which, guess what? He'll be tracking. There won't be no 19-year-old college student running the whole system on if the weather's bad or not this time. Hell, who knows? Maybe he'll contact me and have me do it. I definitely got a better record than that college kid did. Quite a few YouTubers, so. But needless to say, well, good for you, Bonnie. I wish they'd put that in the media showing stuff.
What's that? I can't see chat from my. Well, I guess.
Bonnie says their community supports emergency crews. They fix their meals. Well, that's awesome. You always see it in rain and fire and all that, but you hardly ever see it during winter. And if you've never been out there in winter trying to do stuff, it's a whole lot harder. You can't work as fast in winter because it's frigid cold.
Yeah, it is.
So, yeah. And, yeah, Vegas takes a lot of power. You know, I think they should, the state, if the government's smart, mandate when they're having power outages and all that, make the casinos shut down. I mean, they could have some lights out and they can run their tables, but any gaming that needs electricity, nope. Why can't they do that for the sake of the people? I think I'd rather have the heating running in the hotel and casinos versus freaking slot machines myself. But you know, Vegas should already learn with the fight in California about the water. So.
So you think we're ready for all this stuff?
Nope.
No, me either.
There's so many people still asleep. That's why I gave up freaking telling people to get prepared and be preppers and all that. It's way too late. When that time period that them trying to save up 3 months, paying double, triple the freaking amount for a can of beans ain't gonna help them. You know, I've been listening to everybody talk about, stash money, do this, do that. You know, yeah, it's a good idea to have so much money set aside to pay your bills initially if everything collapses.
Mm-hmm.
But how long does it take before nobody takes the money then?
And I was just going to say, if it gets that bad, I mean, there's not going to be anybody there taking and paying, or there's not going to be everyone around to pay a bill to.
Yeah. Yeah. And a lot of people are like, well, I'm going to get evicted. I personally, if everything goes to poop, do you really think the court system's going to be there worrying about evicting people?
No.
You think the cops going to be worrying about freaking knocking on somebody's house serving eviction papers? No. They're going to have more prioritized freaking concerns going on.
Like their own families, for instance.
Yeah. And violent crimes and, looting and all this other stuff. The landlords are just going to have to suck it up and realize, hey, nobody's taking money. The banks are all shut down. The bills aren't due. I mean, not saying don't pay your bills. You should try to pay them off as much as you can. But,
Oh, definitely.
if the power is still running, yeah, you want to pay that because you want to keep the power going. You don't want them to cut it off. But, yeah, water's the big concern,
Oh, of course.
and you got to think about when, everything is SHTF or however you want to put it. Is the water, if there's no power, is the water going to be running? Water doesn't freely move. It's got to be pumped from the purification areas.
Mm.
And are the people actually working? Are they really showing up to work? Are they worried about their families staying home to protect them?
Right.
Are they going to go work for the city to purify water when all they got to do is get carjacked or shot for the gas in their car going to work? There's a lot of scenarios a lot of people don't think about. Oh, we'll be fine. Well, no. So,
And if it is fine, how long will the power stay on?
that
all kinds
one thing I know Lakebird's not going to worry about when everything goes to put. She's not going to be worrying about raking those freaking pine needles up on her driveway.
Not unless I need a mound or to hide something.
I mean, you can make some pine needle tea and barter. Barter with a neighbor, give them some pine needle tea so you can get something that they got.
Yeah, being I'm allergic.
So, but I don't know. The biggest ones you got to worry about is all the illegals getting the government assistance now. Because think about it, when they find out they ain't getting no assistance anymore, do you think they're really going to rush across the border? You think all those Venezuelans that were freaking there for months at a time in their country, do you think they immediately rushed out of their country to come here? No. So how many of them committed crimes to do stuff in the name of taking care of their family?
Mm.
Yeah. You know, and I know a lot of people in the community, well, that's why you have to have a mag and all this. You know, mags are good, but in the long run, to include a zombie apocalypse, if it's you, one other person from your mag, can you really trust that person to watch your back? I'll give you an example of The Walking Dead.
Okay.
Remember when the deputy was with that farmhand and they went to go get medical devices from the hospital to help out the sheriff's son when he got shot? I don't know if you saw that episode or not, if you're caught up to it or not.
I haven't
Well, you know,
watched the new season.
yeah, they're carrying this freaking medical supplies and all that. The deputy turns around and shoots the freaking I can't remember the character's name, the farmhand in the leg, so he freaking collapses. The zombies would get him, so he could get away.
Mm.
You don't think that's not going to happen with a MAG member? Oh, hell yeah, it's going to happen. When it comes down to you or thee, you know, me or thee,
Mm-hmm.
there's a lot of freaking evil out there.
Yes, there is.
They'll be your friends, but at that point, now do you think family members, immediate family members, I don't think will do it to each other. But, you know, you could know the person for 20 years and they'll still freaking stab you for a can of beans if it's that desperate.
That's very, very true.
Yeah, Jenny says, make sure your friends wouldn't eat you if starving pre-zombie. Well, you know, and I have to laugh for all these people. It's like, oh, the relative gets bit. They're not going to turn, even though you just saw 30 other people turn after getting bit. No. So you got two choices. We put him down because he got bit, or you leave with him right now and don't come back. If you come back, we'll shoot you. You know, and that's only confirming that a bite will actually regenerate you into a zombie. Because will it really do that if zombies become real? Do they have something in there that could spread to you if they bite you? We don't know.
Yeah, we've never been in this situation.
Super Dave. Yep, eat stuff your friends are allergic to. That's why I eat jalapenos. A lot of people can't eat jalapenos.
Like me. Hey, Super Dave. I mean, I can eat the jalapenos, but not the hoppin' ones. Those hoppin' ones are, those are brutal.
Yeah. LLCC just said ate Mexican food and it was yummy.
Hey, LLC.
Hey, just let us know if you're going to go to aisle 5 of any stores. We avoid that aisle.
Right. After all that Mexican food.
Because farts are okay. As long as if they're stinky, you keep them your way. Don't let them come my way. You know. I'm the same way. If I'm going to fart, I try to keep you away. Unless you're laying in bed with me because you're my significant other.
Oh.
Keep stealing the covers, complain that it's cold. Then you're getting a full-blown furnace.
Ooh.
If you know what I mean.
The Dutch oven?
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, man.
Now, that's why I call it a furnace, because I knew you'd mention Dutch oven. Bump, 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 bump. We'll need to do a stream on how to do zombie meals. So if you end up getting bit and you're going to turn into a zombie, how do you prepare your meals?
Twinkies.
Yeah.
That's what
Yeah,
we
you know, if you're wearing overalls, do you want to put salt and pepper in one of your pockets? You know, do you carry a fork and knife with you?
Mm-hmm.
You know, and just go all pig farm on them and just start chomping.
Ooh, like a spork.
Yep. Me personally, if I had to turn into a zombie, I want to keep a couple of manners. I'd take a fork and a knife with me.
You would.
Yeah. I ain't going to do the Indiana Jones thing and cut the top of your skull off and then use a spoon to gel out your brains. No.
Oh yeah.
No.
Oh, those were those guys. Yeah, that was
Yeah,
funky.
eating those monkey brains.
Oh, yucky. I remember that.
I like the way they did that with how they created that. I watched the background video on how they made the brains make it look like that. The Jello mold basically type thing. Even though it wasn't Jello that they used.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, cool. I'd do that for a Halloween party if I had young kids. Of course, my kids were already older, so.
Neat.
I'd definitely get a mold of a couple of neighbors on bite over. So it's their heads. And then lift up the hair and bring. Yeah, you're on my list if I become a zombie.
Bigfoot, are you taking any of these notes that Chest is talking about for tomorrow? No. He says zombies are bad.
He said what?
Zombies bad, he said.
Oh, so what's he's saying? He would rather eat spam than eat zombie meals. Okay.
Zombies come from.
He said that's likely where they come from.
I think he's got to be in a predicament. It comes down to you either got to eat a zombie or you got to eat spam.
Oh boy, he'll probably be eating vegetables somewhere, if there's any.
Yeah, but the zombies pooped all over the vegetables, so they're all contaminated.
Goodness.
Yeah, so I'm telling you. What, zombie deer still poop?
Eef.
Do you think that stuff's not coming out of the body? Leaking out? Yeah. So you can't get freaking any forest creatures because they're contaminated. You can't get no fish because they're radiated.
My goodness. We're in rough shape.
Yeah. The Lake Fairy's going to send Bigfoot off to scavenge. He's going to go to somebody's house that's been abandoned. And he's going to find a backpack full of spam. That's it.
The backpack full of spam.
Yeah. Spam or starve.
No, I bet you he would eat it if it was come to that. Yep, I do.
I don't know. I'll be like Carl. I'll be looking for a big old giant number 10 can of pudding. And I'll sit on a roof and freaking sit there and eat a freaking can of pudding.
Like, goodness.
Oh, so off the zombie thing for a minute. Did you happen to see or read the story about that lady that got stuck in an outhouse? And the cops had to go rescue her? Well, I don't know if it was the cops or fire department.
Yuck, no.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Originally when I saw it, I'm like, okay, maybe she's just really big or she bloated while she's sitting there using the outhouse. No, she actually dropped something in there and she actually went into where everything gets dropped.
Mm.
And then she got stuck where she could climb back out because it was all like slimy and, Bigfoot's or Dig Deeper saying zombie rule number 1, make sure you can run faster than your friends.
Oh. Are you going to trap me?
Say what?
I asked Bigfoot if he was going to trip me, and he said, no, I'll carry you. Bushcrafts eat them zombie mushrooms.
Well, that'll make it easier for Allie. All she's got to do is trip him, and she's got 2 baits while she's running away. Dun, dun, dun. Danny ain't sticking around. It's like, oh, hell no, those are zombies.
Goodness.
And who's going to carry the fat cat?
Fat Cat's going to have to fend for himself.
Oh, okay, see, Bushcraft. Okay, Bushcraft's back. Says she went in after her phone. Oh, sure. When I was looking for Bushcraft earlier, he wasn't here.
No.
Now he's back.
He ditched us.
Yeah. Trying to get him up here earlier, and we're already hitting the 2-hour mark. Well, I'd invite you, Bushcraft, but Lake Fairy's got to agree to stay on for another 30 minutes. I don't know if she can do that or not because, those super-powered breadsticks might be working on her right now.
No, I'm fine. I didn't have a breadstick. That's too much chewing. No.
You know, when you mentioned breadsticks on that message,
Yeah.
I thought of the movie Kick-Ass, and you dressed up as the girl, and you had the two breadsticks in your hands, and you're beating the crap out of somebody,
Oh my
mainly Bigfoot, because he ate your pizza.
goodness. No,
Bigfoot's.
I was gonna say I don't mind staying on for another half hour. I'm just gonna go get a tripod or something to hold my phone, or just keep the camera off.
Okay. Well, we'll see if Bushcraft willing to come up here or not.
Yeah, it's up to Bushcraft.
You know,
I'm just painting.
Bushcraft knows stuff because he knew about the shitty phone reception that lady was having.
Mhm. Oh, he knows lots of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm glad he's doing those driving in his truck freaking lives.
I like them. I'm Bushcrafty.
Yeah.
I actually have 2 videos I need to catch up on today. Yours and his Bushcrafty one. Ooh, what was that? Oh, there's a fly in here. It
Of
tickled
course.
my leg.
But as prices of gas haven't gone down any, he might just want to do more of those porch talks. But hey, if he's out and about doing stuff, there's more power to him. There's no reason to drive around just because we like him driving around.
Did you send him an email?
Yeah, I sent him, but I don't know if he's still on that other channel or not. He might have just dropped in to see where we're at. And
Maybe. Oof.
I sent you an email. Hi.
Yeah, hi.
Hi. I was going to send one to Bear True too. Then we saw you were busy. So, but I want to know about these zombie shrooms. This Bushcraft said eat more zombies, eat them zombie mushrooms. You talk about the ones that Lakeberry and Bigfoot collect in the woods. So I swear I never seen those mushrooms except on a video, and I think the zombie deers drop them off and they go by your house. Well, hello.
Hello.
No, nowhere of all. Denier of everything.
Well, hello.
Yeah, everything's like really close here, so it's not that far to drive.
You're lucky.
So I hope you're enjoying your Saturday night. One of the reasons we want to bring you up here is we wanted somebody else's perspective of anything and everything zombie we talked about tonight. And then we go into whatever you want for 29 more minutes.
29 more minutes.
Yes.
Yeah.
You're on the clock. You got 29 minutes. That's a lot of time.
Don't. He's
Well,
thinking, what should I start with?
the CDC, well, in Amazon, and everybody has clauses in there
Yep.
about zombies.
Yep.
Yeah. Our military.
But they're not real. It's never going to happen according to the unwoke.
There's
Even though
already
they-
zombies, though.
Yeah. I tried telling about the drug zombies, but
Well, I mean, there's zombie ants.
mhm.
There's the mushrooms.
Yeah. The zombie deers that fertilize the mushrooms.
There's zombie sicknesses. I won't say that word that begins with one V unless you guys want to. Unless you say trust.
Here you go. If anybody's an interpreter in chat, make some homemade spam, can it, and call it zombie spam.
Ow.
You can put it on Amazon or one of those. I guarantee people will buy it just for the notoriety of it, novelty of it, or whatever.
I just yawned and it felt like my jaw was going to break.
See, she's already turned into a zombie. There's
No,
that zombie pizza.
no, I still hurt a bit, but I'm just in a good mood.
Uh-huh. So what was it that you're making for dinner tonight?
Me?
Michelle?
I just had minute steaks and
Oh, okay.
some leftover potato salad and coleslaw.
Oh, from watching TJ making those minute steaks, huh?
Yeah, when it comes to eating, you don't want to cook and take it too long. But when it comes to other things, damn it, don't be so quick.
Well, if you're going to smoke it, it's slow,
Well,
low and slow.
so here's an ethical question for you to try to get you motivated. You and Bigfoot are in the woods hunting, or just say you're fishing, you're walking through the woods, get to the car. Zombies start chasing you. Will you trip Bigfoot to try to get away?
I just got to make sure I'm faster than Bigfoot.
Oh, goodness.
So you're not going to feel
I'm
further
shorter.
than
I
that.
can fit under those branches and stuff faster. So
Yeah, but he is Bigfoot, so he's used to the woods. So he may know some tricks, swing off the trees and stuff so his feet never touch the ground.
I work together to outsmart them.
Okay, this vehicle you're gonna take yours or Bigfoot's.
you have to figure out if it's a fast zombie or
Well, I'm talking about a horde of zombies. I'm not talking about just
Oh.
one.
a horde. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'd be like, Bigfoot, your shoes untied.
But the real question is smart, slow, or fast, dumb herd.
Either way, they're hungry and they're coming for you. So
It's all right. He asked Bigfoot if he was going to trip me.
yeah, well, we know if you charge Bigfoot to try to trip him, you're just gonna bounce off Bigfoot. So we've seen that. So
Were you here for the beginning when we were talking about the different things that they're talking about?
I would just empty a can of spam in front of him and he'd go, and then the zombies go after him.
I'd open a second one and put it in his backpack just in case the scent draws the zombies to him.
Goodness.
The zombies might like spam. We'll have to do an experiment when they show up. So
Right.
I don't know. I'm so done with this climate change thing that we're creating 1-2% change. And if you look at it, anything is possible, and there's 1-2% chance of zombies being created since they already have the zombie virus. We have zombie animals, like you mentioned, zombie deer.
Not
We've
to
had
mention-
zombies in the past, so
Not to mention, we will be. That's tomorrow, isn't it?
What? 24th?
Yeah, tomorrow. I think it is when we're getting samples from a asteroid from space.
yeah, I'm bringing them in. Yep.
Yeah.
Telling ya, aliens in the air and zombies on the ground. I'm telling you.
So maybe that's the thing that starts it.
Yeah, you never know.
Get
And
that
there's
space bugs.
Well, I don't know. Them going to Mars, I think them trying to get there, as long as it'll take them to get there, those people will be dead within a year. If you look at all the astronauts that go out there and spend a long time in space, they don't have anything to properly protect them from all the radiation and everything out there. So when they come back, they end up freaking dying within a year or two, majority of them. And the ones that don't die are so sick, you don't even see them in the public eye anymore. Ginger Ninja says Revelation 12 prophecy in the heavens being fulfilled tomorrow too. I don't think we're at the end times yet, but we're getting close. We're going to see all the pre-warnings. to try to wake people up. And it's just like anything else. A lot of people won't wake up.
I still think there's going to be some kind of big distraction before now in November.
Well, Nostradamus.
Yep.
Now there's a time frame, and he predicts the thing with Russia and Ukraine and the sickness,
Yep.
and he predicted the Queen's death, and after that, it's supposed to be zombies.
Yep.
But zombies aren't real, bushcraft. You're crazy. You've been
Not
drinking
yet.
Bud Light.
Well,
Not yet.
in certain countries, they've had certain people acting like them, even doing the bite thing and everything else,
Yeah.
and all aggressive. And we were talking about certain do things, making things aggressive. And I talked about a couple other things. There's certain people that are affected by certain fat sounds, and they cause aggression and all kinds of things, like high pitched frequencies in some people. It starts with the letter M. I mentioned it earlier.
You know how to wake up people to zombies? Remember the zombie they had in Florida?
Yeah.
They showed, I don't know if it was a
ice.
bridge or whatever, he was biting on somebody's face.
Bath salt.
Yeah. Why don't they interview the victim if the victim lived? I don't know if he lived or died, but they didn't say he died initially. So why don't they interview that victim and ask her, do you think there's zombies? Let's get down to the truth. That's the only surviving victim of zombies right now. The government probably paid him. Oh, you got to stay quiet. We'll give you all this money. Don't mention it. Our experiment went wrong and got loose.
So what do you think? You think I should do UFOs and zombies in this, or? I've only worked from here down so far. This is going to be like a fog layer between the trees and whatever I'm going to do at the bottom. I'm thinking UFOs and zombies. Who knows?
I don't know. If you're going to do a UFO, have a rocket, a clear through rocket that's delivering, like an Amazon delivery to the UFO.
Yeah.
And when you look at the rocket, you see it's all filled with spam.
Well, I'm going to have some stars, and I'll have some kind of shooting something. I don't know what yet. I'm thinking about maybe putting a disc, kind of like a line through here, and then like fading it back to kind of give an indication that there's maybe some kind of weird little ship coming out of the clouds. Maybe some eyes down here in the trees, and put like some hills. Like the only part of this fog that's going to be showing is just the very tip. So this will all start like way up here. It'll be like a hill coming down.
Yeah, I'm staring at an article. I haven't opened it. I clicked it. But this is coming from DC News.
My camera's off, Trust.
Oh, that's fine.
Okay. We can see bushcraft now.
And
I was just looking at this new thing that just came out, a new video of September, 11th time.
uh-huh.
Why all of a sudden now?
Because
That's
it's
weird.
all connected.
You want to hear something really weird?
Oh, yeah.
Uh-huh.
There was a guy talking at the Pentagon about $2.5 trillion came up missing.
Yeah.
And guess where that plane hit in the Pentagon that
Yeah.
held all those records?
Yeah. Coincidence.
The very next day.
No.
That's freaky right there.
Well,
That is freaky.
Not saying it wasn't planned or anything. It just One of those coincidences, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, on this DC News webpage, here's the headliner: Why you might want to wait to get the new booster.
Oh, yeah.
So,
I
needless to say,
I heard about not the booster, but there's a new juice thing.
Yeah.
And it's costing people.
Yep.
It's expensive, evidently.
You didn't see where the plane hit, Bertruth? They superimposed that AI plane on top of that rocket. I don't know. With today's freaking technology and them having AI before everybody else, they could have done it. Made the video look that way.
Oh, there's been AI in the 50s since the 50s,
Yeah.
probably before that.
I sometimes wonder if Bertruth's AI. You can tell when his battery's running low because he'll start repeating certain words. There you go, Bertruth. There's your problem there. You're listening to the news, man. You know they're not going to tell you the whole story. You look at nowadays compared to back when 60 Minutes first started, they'd say they'll keep investigating and come back with more. They don't freaking say that in most of their news freaking things now. They just say what they want to say and end the stream. That's it.
Yeah.
They leave you with questions because they don't want to tell you the truth. Virginia Ninja's got whales coming up to her floor. Wow.
Do what?
Whales?
So no
Oh,
wreckage
wow.
of the plane.
You have a bunch of blubber reduced down to fat.
Yeah.
You've been canning that stuff for a long time.
Well, I don't know, Bertie, because I'd go as far as they didn't show no plane wreckage on one of the towers. They just picked up everything, loaded up, and sent it on its way. You know how every time there's a plane accident or anything else, they try to piece the plane back together, get the black box.
Oh, there's not. Yeah, they ain't piecing that. That it got too hot.
Yeah.
Well, there's a new thing going on about one of the other buildings. I think it was 4. Didn't come in contact with anything and fell.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of those weird. I don't know. No planes hit it or anything, and it's way over there. Now the one that was next to one of the bigger towers that fell, it
Yeah.
fell on that building, which made it fall. But this other building was not connected or anything.
Yeah. Now, I think the next time they try anything like that, they're going to try it on a dam. They're done with buildings now. They know they can do mass. They find a dam that's got population underneath. Just take out the dam, and they can turn around and naturally wipe out the freaking communities below it.
Yeah, they knew about the attack coming months before it happened.
Yeah.
And that's been documented and everything.
But, you know, Clinton was too busy having sexual relations with not that woman. He wasn't paying attention to the reports. his cigar smoking was more important with his brandy, bourbon, or whatever it was he was having. So
Yeah, there's um, a T-shirt, or I think it's a meme, but I think it'd be a good T-shirt. Has 4 presidents on there: Trump, Obama, um, Clinton, and Biden. um, one says, well, it's Trump, and it says more jobs. Um, Obama is no jobs. Clinton is blowjobs, and uh, I forget what Biden is. Yeah, I forget what Biden is.
yeah,
Did a bad job, I guess.
yeah,
Something like that.
yeah. But hey, I have to laugh at the party in power right now. Like you're saying, they're not. A lot of them don't want Potato Head anymore, and they're definitely not going to get the VP because she's MIA. And so then their next choice is oh, what's his name? Oprah Winfrey's best friend that always goes on her show.
Oh, him and The Rock are getting canceled big time
Mm-hmm.
because of that so-called charity.
Yep.
Didn't go to the people.
Yep.
There was even
But you got to look at the BFF. It's Michelle, and they're wanting to have Michelle come up and run.
yep.
It's like, no. Y'all don't realize those 8 years with her family in there, they didn't do crap. If you really look at it. The only reason Hillary wanted to run again is because she was pissed that they freaking ran on her agenda that she was going to start the healthcare thing, but she failed miserably as the president's wife. And she was really pissed off when she didn't break the glass ceiling. Needless to say, she didn't realize it was a plexiglass ceiling. Because you notice this administration came into power and plexiglass went up everywhere. Ruben says, y'all ever see what a camel can do to a car? Oh, yeah. I stay away from the camels. They carry camel spiders with them.
Are we talking about Camilla Harris or a real camel? She would turn it into a
Dun, dun,
electric
dun.
school bus.
Mm-hmm. But I don't know. Are you have you started working on your winter garden yet?
No, I just got my garlic today
Oh, okay.
from Haas Tools.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's just right about around the corner. So, I mean, fall's officially here according to the
Yeah.
calendar. If you want to trust the calendar, it was only 101 with a heat index of 108 here in Texas. So, yeah, fall's here.
Actually, let me go get that real quick.
And Lightbird, we didn't never know what she's going to grow. She'll go grocery shopping, start cutting up for produce, and then start growing something.
I like to grow in the windowsill and in the back room under the light during the winter. And you're right, you never know what I'll try next. like to watch Asian people grow stuff. They have some neat art.
Oh.
Ooh. He got a kitty box. He got it.
No, it's a garden box.
No, I know. But I had to say kitty box. You got all the kitties, and later it's the bark box. So.
I haven't seen it in a while.
Hey, Lake,
Get that anymore. They raised the price on it.
Yeah.
Lake, I just want to warn you ahead of time because I haven't mentioned this to you.
Okay.
90 more days before Christmas.
Oh, thank you for that. Yeah.
That garlic didn't come with a free pair of pantyhose, so you can loop them and hang them.
That's one clove, or not clove, but a
Yeah.
piece of.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think there's. Eh,
I don't trust. You're braver than me. I don't trust cats.
huh?
If I passed away and I had a cat, it'd probably be 5 minutes after I found out that I passed away. It'd be chewing in my stomach to eat me.
Yeah.
It's not like you're there anymore.
Hey, I might want to come back with my stomach intact if I'm a zombie. Haas.
Grohaus.
Oh, okay.
That sounds like a German song.
Yeah.
Grohaus.
Rammstein.
Did you guys hear Bigfoot?
No,
He said something about Rammstein.
I can barely hear you also because you're talking
Yeah.
away from your phone.
He said Rammstein.
Ramstein.
Yeah. Du hast.
Yeah.
I'm going to find a t-shirt that says spam. It does a body good. Get it in Bigfoot size and send it to him.
That'll be fun planting that.
Ruben says he's funny. He's getting into stuff. His name is Rodeo.
Mhm.
He's talking about his cat, not you, Bishka,
Mhm.
because his guard cat's on duty.
This ibuprofen and moxicillin's got my stomach all jacked.
So that whole box is just garlic.
Yep.
Damn. Well, I can't complain. 'Cause
$13. It's elephant garlic, so
That's
it'll
what
grow about like that.
I was at. It was elephant garlic.
That'd last me the winter. I like putting garlic in everything. And I'm hoping next spring, if we have a spring here in Texas, I'll be able to grow an olive tree. Been wanting to do an olive tree, but this year was snow. So,
Get you a press that way you can make your own olive oil.
then I could tell Lake backstage, like, you see, I got double pressed virgin olive oil, homemade. Sure that I'm pressing it. But I got to read up more on the olive trees because I'm pretty sure all the olive trees cannot be all female. There's got to be some males trees in there, just like everything else.
Mhm. More than likely.
So, and I wouldn't, if they do have two separate, then I'd need to learn which one's which because.
Well, there are some tomatoes. They're male and female.
Yeah.
They have both parts.
Yeah.
You shake them and they do it themselves.
All the years that I've been growing tomatoes, I have not once shut my tomato trees.
Yeah, you usually don't. It's
Usually the wind
just-
here, because it's so windy, it takes care.
wind blows and does it. I mean, that's something you would do inside the house anyway.
Yeah. I don't know. Lake Fairy goes out and brushes the plant's teeth and everything else.
No.
She has her toothbrush and goes out there and just stimulates them. She likes stimulating her plants.
Yeah, I mean, you can shake them, but yeah, we individually do the flowers. We use the back side of electrical battery operated.
So we know Bigfoot's going live tomorrow. Don't know what time, but in the morning.
11
Should be 11.
and an 11:05 as soon as the vineyard check on Joyful Notes are done.
Now the vineyard check's still going to go live tomorrow too. I didn't look on the page today.
No, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's Joyful Noise and Notes though on that.
And when's the next time you're going live? Bushcraft?
Monday.
Monday?
Yeah.
You got an interview or you're just going to do a live stream?
Oh, that's just me and Jeff on Mondays.
So you need to do a live and say interviewing Bare Truth. The first question is just Bare Truth. YouTube viewers want to know, how's it feel to be that old? I'm trying to see Bare Truth is still in the chat. So I'm giving this opportunity to rag on me before we sign off for the night. Well, I guess he fell asleep. Mama's putting him in the bed, reading a bedtime story. That or he's watching reruns of Let's Make a Deal or something. I can't remember what game show they watch.
Family Feud.
Oh, there you go. I like the older ones better than the new ones. Even though Steve Harvey's okay. But, okay, well, I doubt I'm going to go live again till, I don't know, when Crazy decides to wake up Tuesday, Wednesday. No idea. You never know unless Lake Fairy drops something on my lap and I have to do another live. But I appreciate everybody coming out, listening to stuff that you probably don't believe, but when it happens, you're going to be like, oh, shit, he knew what he was talking about. Yep. So that's usually what happens. I talk about off-the-wall stuff, and people are like, yeah, it's never going to happen. Never say never. That's all I got to say. And the biggest reminder, because I got Bushcraft here today, is remember, Fridays is you got to wear red. I didn't wear the red T-shirt. I did wear
Out
red
of
boxers
there.
that day.
You don't.
And
eat
I know
that.
you wore red because Case 2 mentioned that you wore red on your.
Oh yeah.
So the day you don't wear red is the day, you're standing naked at the laundromat doing your clothes.
I'll even wear red when my son comes home.
Yeah. So I hope everybody has a blessed weekend. Stay safe tonight. Remember, check out Vineyard Chicks and Dig Deeper Ministries tomorrow.
Yeah, 10:30 a.m. Eastern time will be Vineyard Chicks will be on Joyful Noise and Notes.
Oh, righty. And I guess THC didn't come in here. You've been posting them by now, so he's probably sleeping. Hopefully he's having those zombie nightmares that he didn't want to have. That's why he didn't come to the stream tonight. I know he's scared about finding out the truth and then sleeping on it. So thanks you two for coming up. And Lake Fairy, thanks for the information.
Thanks.
Maybe we'll go in depth again if there's anything put on comments that we need to cover it more in depth for him. Ruben says Golden Girls. Nah, I don't think Bare Truth watches Golden Girls. They're too young for him. No. They two across the board need an answer. Yeah, Bare Truth sleeping. Okay. Well, stay safe, everybody, and thanks again for coming up. And we will see you next time. It's 2:32, so good night.
And we say bye-bye.